In an instant, everyone lost consciousness without warning. The streets plunged into chaos, cars crashed wildly like headless chickens, colliding into anything in their path. Offices, subway stations, and the streets were littered with bodies. Strangely, none of them bore any visible injuries, nor did their faces show any sign of pain. Moments later, a woman in pajamas opened her door. Then, more people began stepping out of their homes. They glanced at the men and women lying on the ground, but instead of panic, they seemed indifferent, as if this sight was nothing out of the ordinary. That's because they weren't real humans. They were human surrogates, robots controlled remotely by their users. In this future, 100 years from now, no one worries about their appearance or physique anymore. With a simple connection device, people can control a robot that's an identical replica of themselves. This innovation merges human intelligence with the durability of machines, allowing surrogates to perform jobs, solve appearance-related anxieties, and drastically reduce crime rates. Even if a surrogate faces danger, it doesn't affect the user. The military adopted surrogates to safeguard soldiers, using them on the battlefield. Surrogates also made recreational drug use legal. Electrical stimulation delivered the same high without addiction. But then, something went wrong. A boy encountered an accident while using his surrogate. He was kissing a girl he had just met when a man in a helmet appeared. The boy, suspicious of his shifty behavior, tried to shoo him away.
Get lost, meatbag.
Suddenly, there was a flash, and the helmeted man sped off on a motorcycle, causing a car to swerve and crash at an intersection. Though the wreck only damaged surrogates, a nearby alley held several destroyed surrogate bodies, eyes burned out, back chips fried. Among them was the girl the boy had kissed. Following procedure, veteran investigator Detective Bruce and his partner arrived at the girl's user's home to investigate. The house was full of stylish clothes, but there was no sign of the girl. Then a piercing scream shattered the silence. Bruce rushed over and found a shocking scene. The real girl was a 300-pound woman, lying dead on the floor. Normally, even if a surrogate is destroyed, the user remains unharmed. So why had this girl died? Bruce reviewed the girl's recorded footage, nothing suspicious, just the boy she was with. Then, the boy's body was discovered in his dorm room, killed in the same bizarre way. Reviewing his last moments revealed a blurry, helmeted figure wielding a strange weapon. But the shock didn't end there. The boy, Kent, was the only son of Dr. Kent, the former head of the world's largest robotics company and the man who had pioneered surrogate technology. Dr. Kent had been ousted from his company 7 years earlier after a fallout with his partners. Now, his son was dead. Could the two events be connected? Bruce and his partner Anna headed to Dr. Kent's sprawling estate. They were greeted not by the doctor himself, but by one of his surrogates. Dr. Kent had several. In fact, the surrogate his son had been using on that fateful day was originally Dr. Kent's. This raised a chilling question: was the killer's target Dr. Kent all along, and had his son been mistakenly caught in the crossfire? Dr. Kent was devastated, realizing his involvement in his son's death. Determined to catch the culprit, Bruce scanned the partially captured face from the video. Soon, the AI pinpointed the suspect's location using surveillance data. Bruce, boarding a helicopter, coordinated with ground forces to trap the killer. The chase was intense, with the suspect recklessly tearing through city streets toward the reservation, a secluded area inhabited by those who opposed surrogate use. They believed surrogates were a crutch for human connection, an escape from genuine interaction. These rebels, led by a figure called the Prophet, lived off-grid, outside government control. If the suspect made it into their territory, the police would be powerless to follow. Cornered in a narrow alley, the suspect pulled out his mysterious weapon. Suddenly, the police froze, their eyes combusting as the weapon discharged. Bruce, hovering above in the helicopter, watched in horror as the officers dropped. The killer, spotting him, aimed the weapon upward. Acting quickly, Bruce severed his link to his surrogate, narrowly avoiding a similar fate. But the pilot wasn't so lucky. His eyes exploded, and the chopper plummeted, spinning out of control. Reconnecting to his surrogate, Bruce was thrown clear of the crashing helicopter, losing an arm in the process. But he knew he had to retrieve the weapon, or every surrogate and their human operators would be at risk. The chase was on. The killer darted through the reservation while Bruce pursued, leaping effortlessly over obstacles thanks to his robotic agility. He caught up, and the desperate fugitive, cornered, surrendered the weapon. But as Bruce turned to leave, alarms rang out. The inhabitants of the reservation, seeing a surrogate intruder, mobilized quickly, surrounding him with weapons drawn. Just as Bruce was about to make his escape,